Welcome back to another video, guys. So today I will be sharing a story time with you guys. I will be telling you guys how I found out that I have lupus. So in 2014 I was a grade 10 student and I was a part of the cheerleading team for my house. So in Jamaica, if you know, sports seasons in school begins from the middle of January all the way until Easter break. So we had sports day and I was on the field cheering on for my house in the sun, and I would also be involved into open race. Open race are races that if you can't find a certain set of people to run the race, they could use anybody of any age to run once the person is a part of your house. So even though I'm not a runner, I would run in those races to give my house points to try for us to win or to get a second place. And I'm also a part of the cheerleading. So for the entire day, I was on the field in the sun. So after sports was over, I was full of sunburn. My arms, my face, my lip, my nose, I was full of sunburn. And my voice was gone. I didn't have any voice. So, you know, school is closed. So I would be home and I would clean and I would place like Vaseline, the clear Vaseline over the sunburns and hope that the sunburns will disappear after a while. But gradually, the one on my forehead and on my arm started to disappear, but the one on my cheek here and here and my nose and my lip, it wasn't going anywhere, it wasn't moving. So the rashes on my face would form like a little dry scalp on them, and then when they shed or you could peel it off and you think that it's going to it didn't move, it's still there. The top of it just keep on forming like a peeling layer, like a scalp, but it's not healing. For the lip will dry to some portion and then seems as if it is healing, and then it breaks out again or it start bleeding, and during this time it's burning like burning pepper. So I go back to school on and off with these rashes and the lip, and then school went out for summer break, and then when school opened for grade 11, I went back to school with these rashes and this lip, but the lip wasn't as bad as before, but it's still there. So school, the first term of school from September to December came and it run off. I have the rashes same way. I still have this sore on my lip, but as I said, this time it seems as if it's swelling and then it break out back into a bigger sore, and then it start to raise alarm. And like over into 2015 now, I went to school, and when I went to school, some of my classmates was like, what happened to your lip, you know? And then like, so what did you put on it? So some of them was like asking question, concern. Some is like, you know, looking and suing and painting, and you know, you can see them talking, you can feel them talking. Some will ask questions, some will crowd around you. And I can remember a particular one said to me, said, you should go to doctor, man, you should go to the doctor and see what it is, because you know, you don't know one, it's not welling and it don't look good. And I forgot, it had a little scent to it, but the scent wasn't high enough for someone talking to me or passing me would smell the scent, but for me, I was able to smell it like a little raw funny scent. I assume that scent is maybe from the blood, because during the sore it would bleed and it would burn. So in 2015 now, I decided that I am going to go to the doctor, to the hospital. By then I would turn 18. So one day I went to the hospital, and when I went to the hospital, I went early and I spent almost the entire day. When it was my time to go in, I went in, and when I went in, it was a Chinese doctor, and he asked what bring me to the doctor, you know, and I was explaining to him that I went to sports day and I was in the sun all day, and then after I went in the sun and go home, I have the flare up of the lip and the eyes, and it's not welling, and I'm not sure what causing it. And he looked at me very well, and he asked like a few questions about like family background, not much, and then his reaction is like, you know, when you know what it is but you're not telling the person what it is because maybe you don't want to scare them or something like that. He said, well, I don't know why you come here, because we cannot help you, there's no doctor here to help you. And he said, you have to choose, you have two choices. Is that you're going to choose Sentence Bay Hospital or you're going to choose Anata Bay Hospital. Knowing me, I do not know Sentence Bay, so I chose Anata Bay Hospital because it was closer to me, even though I didn't know my way there either, but it was closer to me at the time. So I chose there. He wrote me a referral. He went inside his bag and he took out a little yellow, I think it was a yellow box, with a little tube in there, or a white box with a little yellow tube in there. I'm not quite sure, remember, but it was a little tiny tube about the size of here, and give it to me and tell me that I can put it on the lip, but I have to go to the hospital with the referral. And he also gave me some blood test results to be done, and those blood tests cannot be done at the hospital. I have to pay to get those blood tests done. So then I left. I called my parents at the time and I give them the update, and then like maybe a week or two after that, I went to the anatomy hospital. When I went there, I was asked the same question, and I was given the same look, like, why do you come here? Why do they send you here? We cannot help you here. There's no doctor here to help you. Then, you know, as a young child just turned 18, they're not telling you exactly what it is. It kind of put a little fear in you. You're trying to wonder what's going on, like, why everybody else saying can't help me, you know? Anyways, he said you have two choices. You can either go to KPH or to Sentence Bay. I can send you there with the referral. So I choose KPH again. KPH is this time is further from me, but then I don't know Sentence Bay, but I have relative in Kingston that would able to give me direction or assist me with finding KPH. So I choose KPH and I get the referral and I left. The cream that I got was healing the lip a little bit. It was healing the lip. And so I called my sister and I informed her that I get a referral to take to the KPH and I don't know where it is, if she could assist me in finding where it is. She helped. I went there. When I went there, it was too late, and the day of that specific clinic that is on the referral is being held on specific day. So I was sent back home with the referral and given a specific day to come. And then I had to go back home and then come back on that day. And then when I come back on that day, I was just registered and given an appointment card to come back on that day. So I'm yet to see the doctor. I'm yet to complete the blood test or anything. I couldn't went either and do the blood test because I didn't have the money to do the blood test at the time. So I went home again, and with the help of my sister, I went back to KPH on the date. I was there from in the morning, and the doctor didn't come until sometime after 1, and it was like 30 to 35 of us there. Mind you, I wasn't the first or the top 5 person to reach there first because I'm coming from far, I'm coming from country. Then I ended up went on the day. As I said, when I went, I meet the doctor. Her name is Dr. Tola Reed, and she was asking a lot of little question like to background check, like in your family, who in your family is sick and what kind of sickness they have. So it's like telling her who have hypertension, who have asthma and stuff like that. And then she said to me, is there anybody in your family with lupus? And I'm like, yes, my grandmother. And she's like, okay. And then she said, were you given some blood tests to do? And I said, yes. And she said, why you didn't do them? And I tell her that I didn't have the money to complete the blood test. And she was a bit confused because those blood tests is cheap. Well, it's basically free at that hospital, but it's not given at the previous hospital to be done free. You have to pay. So she sent me to do them. And when she sent me to do those blood tests, she gave me a next date because she needed the blood test to help to give her a final result or diagnosis of what is going on. So I went and I did the blood test the same day. And when I went to do the blood test, they take 7 of the little tube from me. But the person taking the blood was more into asking me to donate blood to her and stuff like that. And then when I went back to clinic, I was told that those 7 little tubes that was taken from me, there's no result from them because the name wasn't spelled correctly. When I sit there and spell my name and watch that lady write the correct name on the tube, I was told that my name didn't spell correctly on them, so they had to throw them away because they didn't show it was my blood. And so I have to come back again and I have to redo those tests. By then, my parents, my half of parents at that time is more concerned of them stealing your blood and, oh, it's not safe and I don't think you should go back, more than trying to find out what is the problem and how they can fix it. So I ended up did the blood test, and I also get a referral to go to the National Chest Hospital to do a biopsy. I did the blood test, and when I did the blood test, by the blood test would ready on the clinic day, the biopsy test would also be ready. So both of them put together would be available in order to give me a better answer, some form of clarity. I went to the chest hospital with the referral and was given a day to come to do the surgery. And when I went there, they prepped me of the procedure, let me sign the consent form, and a piece of the rashes, as I told you, that was on my face was removed and sent to be tested. If you look right here at my eye, you would see where they cut the skin from to do the biopsy. The result was sent from National Chest Hospital to KPH, and with the blood test, she were able to tell me what the problem was. And so by then, I went back to clinic and she sat me down and she started to inform me let me know that, hey, we found an answer. You have lupus, but it is at a stage where it is at the root. It is at a stage, because you have different stages of lupus with different names and different type of symptom. So it was at a stage where it is treatable. So it is, if they treat it, it won't spread into an entire tree or into the bad form of it. So it's at a treatable stage. So I found out very early before it is worse. But mind you, during that time, my fingers would swell and get stiff, and my foot and stiff and sore for like a few hours, and then it go down, and I would have like on and off pain in my knee. But I thought it was normal, because remember, I am just a child. I'm not considering that these are signs of a illness or anything like that. So then she said, when you have lupus, you have to stay away from, try and getting pregnant, because, getting pregnant with lupus is a life and death situation. You are the child, can be dead or can die. So, she advised we have some of the things that I am allowed to eat, what I'm not allowed to eat, what I'm allowed to do, what I'm not allowed to do. As a son, she tell you not to walk in the bare sun. You must use an umbrella, and also wear long sleeve clothing, and try to walk when the sun is setting or the sun is rising instead of in the sun itself. And she give me like a prep and a rundown of what to do, and give me a clinic date to come back. And that's how I found out that I have lupus. And I also received some medication to kind of treat it or control it so it doesn't spread to the worst form of it. So when I went back to school, I had 3 specific classmates that was close to me or like a friend to me. So they were aware of what was going on. So when I got my result, I shared with them, and they were like, I'm sorry to hear. And I can remember one of them was asking if I'm worried. I'm like, no, worried for what? And like, they say people who have that doesn't normally live past a certain amount of years or stuff like that. I'm like, no, I'm not worried. And sometimes I do read about it, and back then it did say that when you have it, you don't normally live past 10 years. But again, it depending on the stage of it, and it depending on how it is treated, how you deal with your body, or you take care of your body, the things that you put in your body, and in order to help to keep it at a stage or try to rid it from spreading. And I think that will help you, or help to prolong life or determine how long you live. So that was how I found out that I have it. I don't worry about it, and not much people would know that I have it, because I don't look like I have it. And yeah, after I found out and I started taking my medication, all the rashes on my face were gone, my lip healed. From that, I can't really remember of me getting back any butterfly rashes or any lip sores. But at times, if I do taking too much of the sun, I can see them like on my nose or on my jaw. So I do kind of use your sunscreen, as the doctor said, limit the amount of sun you take in. And because the sun is like a flare up for it, the sun flare it up. So you have to put that in consideration also. So yeah, that's how I found out.